LG C Series has always been a big seller, as it's well positioned in their lineup. Brighter, and often with a few more features than the cheaper B series, but far more affordable than the premium G series. In the last few years, however, they've been put under a heavy pressure by Samsung's own mid-range OLED, the S90 line, which is traditionally more colorful and a bit brighter overall. What about the new LG C5, however? How does it stack up? Hi, I'm Marco from RTINGS.com. I'll take you through a tour of this TV and tell you whether it's a good purchase, or if you should maybe opt for something else. Ratings. We're starting on a high. The LG C5 is noticeably brighter than the LG C4. For years, every new C Series TV was only marginally brighter than the one before, but not this year. This is a very bright TV. Want to get your mind blown? The C5 is almost as bright in HDR as the LG G4 from last year. That's how bright it is. And compared to the G4, its brightness is much more stable, so you get less variations in brightness between very small highlights and entirely bright scenes. Unfortunately, there is a caveat. The TV loses a lot of its brightness in game mode. We don't know why this happens to the C model every year. Last year, the B4 and G4 didn't lose any of their brightness, and from what we've tested this year, the new G5 doesn't either. It's still plenty bright for a good HDR gaming experience, but it doesn't look nearly as vibrant as filmmaker mode does. And of course, all that comes with perfect blacks, no blooming, and no zone transitions, regardless of whether you're in Game Optimizer or not. Colors have always been WOLED's Achilles heel. Not because they're bad, mind you, but because they're not quite as good as TVs using the competing QD-OLED panel. So how does the C5 fare? Well, business as usual. The TV is colorful for sure, as it displays dark saturated colors very well, which is unsurprising for an OLED, since, you know, they do have perfect blacks. The TV handles brighter colors well too, and it really excels at displaying bright whites. However, the TV struggles a bit with bright reds, magentas, and yellows. Ultimately, the TV is colorful, but it's not QD-OLED level colorful. This is an excellent TV for anyone who cares about accuracy in HDR. Its white balance is outstanding, and its color temperature is very close to the industry standard 6500K. The colors themselves are quite accurate, although they have some mapping issues throughout, with reds and magentas being undersaturated. Still, overall, this TV is very accurate. When it comes to HDR brightness accuracy, hey, it's very accurate here too. Some near blacks are a bit brighter than intended, and some midtones are too dark, but barely so in both cases. There's a small roll-off near the TV's peak brightness that retains detail in highlights, but that's only useful for content mastered at 4000 nits, since the TV is bright enough to fully display most content mastered at 600 and 1000 nits. Before we move on to SDR, those of you who watched our LG G5 review might be asking, so, Marco from RTINGS.com, does the LG C5 have the same strange issues with HDR10 as the G5? Unfortunately, yes, it does. It's not quite as bad as on the G5, but the contouring is there and it makes HDR10 content uglier than it should be. Cross your fingers for a firmware update. And just like the G5, diagonal lines appear on this panel as a result of dithering. You won't really notice these unless you're sitting very close to the screen, but it's still there. Now, in SDR, this TV is extremely surprising. It's extremely bright. Most OLEDs, especially mid-range OLEDs like this one, aren't typically bright in SDR, but the C5 goes against the grain, pulling off an astonishing 592 nits in real content. Heck, it's capable of sustaining 527 nits in a 50% bright window. It only noticeably loses vibrancy on a 100% window, but you're unlikely to ever watch real content that ends up being that bright. It's an impressive performance, making this TV easily bright enough for brightly lit rooms. Sadly, its handling of direct reflections doesn't quite keep up with the TV's SDR brightness, as it's just alright. It does reduce the intensity of any direct reflection somewhat, but you'll still see any light or window placed directly opposite the TV right there on your screen, especially in darker scenes. In brighter scenes, the TV is bright enough to overcome glare. There is some light banding around direct reflections, however, which can be a bit distracting. Still, overall, it's great. What is most impressive about this TV's handling of reflections is how its black levels barely raise in brighter rooms. So even though you'll see glare in darker scenes, at least those blacks stay black. Now, this is what we're talking about. You care about accuracy in SDR? Then this TV is for you. It's just very accurate, and the only thing you need to do to get there is to make sure it's set to warm 40. Boom! Put an explosion there. Now, it's not perfect by any means. There's too much red in most shades of gray, which does make the TV's color temperature too warm. As for color accuracy, it's excellent. There are some minor inaccuracies with whites and some light shades of cyans and yellows, but you won't notice it. Most scenes are slightly too dark too, but barely. And if you're inclined to calibrate your set, the TV supports AutoCal through Calman using a 1D and 3D LUT, making the whole process way easier. You're welcome. The C5 also has a very wide viewing angle. Still, like most LG OLEDs, there's a noticeable green tint on our unit, and it's worse at an angle. This does vary from panel to panel, and it's normal unless excessive. Still, if you do intend to purchase an LG C Series, keep this in mind as we also had a very obvious tint on our C4 last year. This TV does an excellent job of smoothing out macro blocking from low quality content. Plus, it does that while keeping most of the details intact. It's also excellent at cleaning up low resolution feeds, like from DVDs or cable. It's not quite as excellent when cleaning up HDR color gradients. It's good, sure, but there's some noticeable banding in all shades of gray and in darker greens. It's also worse in HDR10 due to the TV's contouring issues. Moving on to the gaming side of things, this is a fantastic TV for gamers, at least for Xbox gamers, as that console supports gaming in Dolby Vision. PS5 gamers should maybe steer clear from this TV until it receives a firmware update, as that console only supports HDR10. Which is a bummer, as this TV is otherwise a stellar performer in games. Yeah, it can't do 165Hz like the G5 can, but on the flip side, its input lag is currently much quicker at 144Hz than the G5 is at 165Hz. It's also very quick at 120Hz and 60Hz. And as with all OLEDs, its pixel transitions are blazingly fast. Not quite instantaneous, but almost. The TV has 4 full HDMI 2.1 ports, all with 4K at 144Hz support. It also has full support for the 6GHz Wi-Fi band. It also supports Dolby Vision, but sadly, LG has dropped support for DTS across its entire model lineup this year. So, you want alternatives? We got them. Keep in mind that as long as the TV has its HDR10 issue, we can't really recommend that anyone buy it. We'll put an update in the comments if the issue does change with the future firmware update. This year's C5 is a noticeable improvement over last year's C4 for one reason and one reason only. It's noticeably brighter in HDR and SDR. Not only does this make HDR highlights pop noticeably more on the C5, but it also means that its SDR brightness makes it a more viable option for brighter rooms. The C5's added brightness also gives it a bit more headroom when displaying bright HDR colors, which is another welcome improvement. Plus, while both the C4 and C5 lose a lot of their HDR brightness in game optimizer mode, the C5's higher peak brightness does end up translating into a much more vibrant gaming experience than on the C4. Unfortunately, the LG C5 is currently saddled with that HDR10 issue, as we mentioned. Also, the LG C4 could still pass through DTS audio formats through eARC, while LG removed that on all of their 2025 models. We compared the C5 to this year's G5, but the conclusion is obvious. The C5 is similar, but lesser. Less bright, less colorful, but identical feature sets outside of 165Hz support on the G5. The more intriguing comparison here is comparing the C5 to last year's MLA-equipped LG G4. This is a way closer matchup, as any of us could have ever imagined. While the G4 is still brighter in HDR, it's by a hair. Look at that, it's tight. It's not so tight in game optimizer mode though, as the G4 barely loses any of its brightness, while the C5 is visibly dimmer. The big surprise though is in SDR. Look at that, the C5 is brighter than the G4 here. This also gives the C5 slightly better color volume in SDR. The G4 is still probably better in brighter rooms due to its superior reflection handling, but it's a toss-up, as it also comes with visibly raised blacks in well-lit rooms, something the C5 doesn't really suffer from. The G4 does have a wider viewing angle, but the C5 is also excellent here. Frankly, the G4 is still better, but by an extremely small margin. This means that those of you who were considering a G4 last year but didn't pull the trigger can instead buy a C5 this year, effectively almost getting the same TV for a slightly cheaper price. Still, the G4 currently doesn't suffer from the HDR10 contouring issue, so maybe wait for a firmware update before going for a C5. If you're curious about how the C5 compares against a 2025 Samsung QD-OLED, like the 65-inch Samsung S85F, we got you covered. The answer is, very well. Keep in mind that the S85F uses a WOLED panel in its two biggest sizes in North America, and all sizes are WOLED in other territories. The WOLED model of the S85F likely performs a bit worse, with worse color volume overall. Even so, the C5 beats out the superior QD-OLED variant of the S85F. The C5 is vastly brighter in HDR and SDR. It's not really close. And yes, the Samsung doesn't lose any of its brightness in game mode, while the C5 does. But it doesn't matter, as it can't bridge that massive brightness gap even with that advantage. As expected, however, the S85F is much more colorful than the C5 in SDR and HDR. And while the S85F handles reflections much better than the C5, it has noticeably raised blacks in well-lit rooms, while the C5 doesn't. So, what does this all mean? Well, it means that the S85F is the better performer in pitch black rooms, as the C5's brightness advantage matters less here. And you're more likely to notice the S85F's edge in color vibrancy. But in slightly brighter rooms, especially rooms with ambient lighting without any direct light sources, the C5's brightness advantage gives it the edge. Of course, the C5 also supports Dolby Vision, while the Samsung is still sticking to HDR10+. So that's another advantage for LG. Finally, PC gamers will appreciate the C5's 144Hz support, while the S85F is limited to 120Hz. So, should you buy the LG C5? It's an easy answer. If LG releases a firmware update to fix this TV's HDR10 issue, then yes, absolutely. Until then, you're better off shopping for LG's 2024 models, or perhaps looking at other competing products from Samsung or Sony. That's our look at the LG C5 OLED. Are you bothered by LG's HDR10 issues this year? Do you expect them to release a firmware update anytime soon? Let us know in the comments, and check out our full written review in the description below. Until next time, I'm Marco from Ratings.com, where we help you find the best product for your needs. Keep in mind that as long as the TV has HDR10 issues, we can't really recommend that you Let me also retake the, so you want alternatives? We got them. You know, I want to tell people that we have alternatives, you know? Like, I really want to make sure that they know that we got them. We got them for you. We do